Hello, everybody. Today we're going to start Module 5 in the 6th grade Go Math textbook. We're on page 107 of the book, and our topic today is dividing whole numbers. So let's look at estimating quotients in the Explore activity. So remember, we can use estimation to predict the quotient of multi-digit whole numbers. Remember that the different parts of the division problem are dividend, divisor, quotient. Or we'll see it this way as well: dividend, divisor, quotient. All right, so a local zoo had a total of 98,464 visitors last year. The zoo was open every day except for 3 holidays. On average, about how many visitors did the zoo have each day? So to estimate this, we can divide the total number of visitors by the number of days. That'll give us an average of visitors per day. So to estimate the quotient, first estimate the dividend by rounding the number of visitors to the nearest 10,000. So 9 is in 10,000s, and the digit to the right is 8, which is greater than 5. So we're going to round up. So 98,000 is close to 100,000. All right, there were 365 days last year. How many days was the petting zoo open? Well, remember it said all but 3 days. So 362. All right, so estimate the divisor by rounding the number of days that the zoo is open to the nearest 100. All right, so 362 rounded to the nearest 100 is 400. So let's estimate the quotient. We have 100,000 divided by 400. Well, you'll recall that if the divisor ends in zeros as well as the dividend, we can cancel out that many zeros. In other words, we're going to divide the dividend by 100, which means we'll eliminate 2 of the zeros. So how many 4s can we take from 10? 2. Bring down the 0, 5. And bring down the last 0. So 250. So the average number of visitors per day last year was about 250. How can you check that your quotient is correct? Okay, remember that the process for checking a division problem is to multiply the quotient by the divisor. Okay, if you multiply the quotient with the divisor, you should get the dividend. Okay. Right, do you think that your estimate is greater than or less than the actual answer? So let's see. We rounded the real number up. We rounded the divisor up. So I think our answer will be less than that. So rounding up the days the zoo was open increased the number of days that it was actually open. So the average per day is going to be lower than the estimate. Because we rounded both the numbers up, we got a dividend, a quotient that was higher than it would be in reality. All right, so let's go to 108. All right, using long division. Okay. So the exact average number of visitors per day at the zoo in the Explore activity is the quotient 98,464 and 362. We can use long division to find this quotient. So the local zoo had 98,464 visitors last year. The zoo was open every day except for 3 holidays. So it's the same problem, right? But now we're actually going to find the answer. So step 1, 362 is greater than 9 and 98. So 362 is greater than 9, is greater than 98. So we're going to take 300, we're going to divide 984 by 382, and that gives us 724. 2 times 362 is 724. Subtract, we're left with 260. Next step is to bring down the 6. So bring down the tens digit. How many 362s are in 2606? About 7. 7 times 362 is 2,534. Subtract, we're left with 72. And our last step is to bring down the 4. So 724 divided by 362. That's going to be 2. So the average number of visitors per day last year was 272. I misstated something on number 2, guys. So, do you think your estimate is greater than or less than the actual answer? So, it's actually less than. So, I did phrase that correctly. And I rounded up the day the zoo was open. So, the average per day is lower than it should be. Okay, because we're dividing by more days. So, we're actually getting an estimate that's lower. So, our actual answer will be greater than the estimate. Okay. So our estimate right now of 250 is less than what it should be. All right. I just wanted to correct that before I moved on. All right, number 3. 34,989 divided by 321. All right, 321 is greater than 3. 321 is greater than 34. 324 is less than 349. So I can take one set of those from 349 with a remainder of 28. I'm going to bring down the hundreds. I'm sorry, bring down the tens, the 8. Okay. 288 is less than 321. So, all right, 321 from 2,889. I'm going to try 9. 9 times 1 is 9. 9 times 2 is 18. 9 times 3 is 27, plus 1 more is 28. So 109. Okay, number 4. 73,375 divided by 125. Okay, so 125 is greater than 3. 125 is greater than 73. 125 is less than 733. So we can divide 733 by 125. Maybe 6. Let's see. 125 times 6 is 750. Oh, so that's slightly too big. So I'm going to use 5. 125 times 5 is 625. I can't subtract 5 from 3, so I'll regroup. So I have 108 left. I'm now going to bring down the 10. So 1,087 divided by 125. Well, I know 8 times 125 should be 1,000. So let's try that. 125 times 8. Okay. Subtract. We have a remainder of 87. And we need to bring down the 1s. All right. Well, we know 5 times 125 is 625. And we multiplied by 6, and we got 750. So we should be able to get 7. Yep. So 587. All right, number 5. So on page 109, dividing with the remainder. So suppose you and your friend want to divide 9 polished rocks between you so that you each get the same number of polished rocks. You will each get 4 rocks with 1 rock left over. You can say that the quotient 9 divided by 2 has a remainder of 1. So sometimes the remainder is written as a fraction of the divisor. For example, you can write 9 divided by 2 as 4 and 1/2, where 1 is the remainder and the denominator 2 is the divisor. All right, so Callie has 1,850 books. She must pack them into boxes to ship to a bookstore. Will she need to pack all of the books? Divide 1850 by 12. And we find that if we do those steps, we're going to come up with 154 with a remainder of 2. So we can say 154, remainder 2, or 154 and 2/12, which can be reduced to 154 and 1/6. So she's going to need basically 155 boxes. Okay. What does the remainder in this situation? What does the remainder mean? Well, that's how many books were left over. So okay, so each box was supposed to hold 12 books. Well, we had a remainder of 2. Well, that means we have to get another box, right? If every book has to be in a box, we still have to have one extra box for these 2. And so we would say, since there's 2 books left over in the last box, there's 2 out of the 12 that should be there, or 1/6. It's 1/6 that's full, has the other boxes. All right, 6. 5,796, and we're going to divide that by 25. Okay. 25 is greater than 5, but less than 57. And I know 2 times 25 is 50. So bring down the 9. 79 divided by 25. I know 3 would give me 75. So 3 times 25 is 75 with a remainder of 4. And I'm going to bring down the ones digit. 46 divided by 25, I can only get 125 from that. And I have a remainder of 21. So 231, 21 25ths, or 231 remainder 21. So either way is correctly written. All right, number 7. 3,098 divided by 67. 67 is greater than 3. 67 is greater than 30. 67 is less than 309. So we can probably get maybe 4 of those, because 4 times 70 is 280. 5 times 70, 350 is 5 would probably be too big. So 7 times 4 is 28. Yes, so 268. We'd have a remainder of 41. But we still have the ones to bring down, so we'll bring down the 8. All right, 418. We might be able to get 6. Let's try 6. That would be 402 with a remainder of 16. So 46, remainder 16. 46, 16, 67ths. Okay, number 8. A museum gift shop manager wants to put 1,578 polished rocks into small bags to sell as souvenirs. The manager wants to put 15 rocks in each bag. How many complete bags can be filled, and how many rocks will be left over? So 1578 divide by 15. So 15 is greater than 1, but 15 is 15. So let's multiply 15 by 1. Subtract, we get 0. Bring down the 10. I can't take any 15s from 7, so I have to put 0. 0 times 15 is 0. Subtract, we have 7 again, and bring down the 1s. Well, 5 times 15 is 75. So 105, remainder 3. So the 105 represents how many bags are completely filled, and 3 would represent the number of rocks left over. So 105 bags, 3 rocks left over. All right, let's look at page 110. All right, number 1. Estimate 31,969 divided by 488. Round the numbers and then divide. So 31,000, the 3 is in the 10,000s, 1 is less than 5, so let's round down. So we have 30,000, 488. We'll round up to 500. So we have 30,000 divided by 500. I can reduce the divisor and dividend by 100 by dividing each of them by 100, which means I can cross off the end zeros. I can't take 5 from 3, but I can take 6 5s from 30. And so my answer is 60. All right, number 2, 3072 divided by 32. All right, so we have this process, the steps listed here. So they put 9 in the quotient. So 9 times 32, 288. When they subtracted that, they got a remainder of 19. They have to bring down the 2. So how many 192s can we get from 32? I know 30 times 6 is 180, so let's try 6. Yes, 192. And we're left with 0. So the answer is 96. All right. Number 3, they've just set it up for us. So 51 greater than 4. Can't divide that. 45 is smaller than 51. 453 divided by 51. That's going to probably be about 8. Okay, so 45 plus 8 is 53. So when they subtracted, they got a remainder of 45. They got a remainder of 45. They brought down the 9 ones. 459 divided by 51. I'm going to try 9. Yep. So 9 times 51 is 459, and there is no remainder. So the answer is 89. Number 4, 95 is greater than 9. 95 is greater than 93. 95 can divide into 931. I think 9 will probably work because 9 times 9 is 81, right? So let's try 9. 855. So we'll subtract that. We get a remainder of 76. Bring down the 7. So 767 divided by 95. Maybe 8. 760. Yep. So number 4, 98, remainder 7. Okay, number 5. 2,226 divided by 53. Okay, I can't. 53 is greater than 2. 53 is greater than 22. 53 can go into 222, maybe 4 times. Okay, subtract. Just 4 times 53 is 212. Subtract, we're left with 10. And bring down the 6 ones. 53, well, 53 is close to 50. So 2 50s is 100. So let's try 2. 53 times 2 is 106. So 42. Right, number 6. 4,514 divided by 74. Okay, 74 is greater than 4, is greater than 45. Yeah, I can divide 451 by 74. If this is 70, how many 70s could you get from 450? Well, 7 times 70 would be 490, so that's probably going to be too big. Let's try 6. 74 times 6. 444. Yes, that'll work. We get a remainder of 7, and then bring down the 4 ones. Well, clearly, I can take 174 from 74. So number 6 is 61. Number 7, 3,493 divided by 37. So 37 is greater than 3. 37 is greater than 34. 37 can divide into 349. Let's see. So 37, that's close to 40, right? How many 40s could I take from, say, 350? Maybe 8. 8 times 30 is 240. Let's just try. We get 296. That may not be big enough, right? Let's see. 349, take away 296. 53. No, so actually 9. What we want to do 9. 37 times 9 will be 333. So 9 times 37, 333. Subtract that from 349. We get 16 and bring down the 3 ones. Uh, 5 times 37, 185. So that's going to be too big. So let's try 4. So 94, remainder 15. Or we could say 94 and 15 37ths. Number 8, 2001 divide by 83. Okay, so 83, I'm going to divide 200 by 83. I know 3 times 80 is 240, so that's going to be too big. So I'm just going to try 2. 166. So that leaves me 34, and then I'll bring down the 1. All right, 341 divided by 83. 4 times 80 is 320. I'm going to try 4. Okay, that gets me pretty close. 4 times 83 is 332. Subtract, we get a remainder of 9. So 24, remainder 9. Number 9. Okay, we're going to divide 397 by 313, which will be 1. We'll be left with 86. We're going to bring down the 5 tens. 313 divided into 885. Well, it can't be 3. That would be 900. So the biggest I think we can use is 2. Okay, so 2 times 313 is 626. Subtract. We get 239. 239 is less than 313. So bring down the 1. All right, so 7 times 300 is 2,100, maybe 7. So 7 times 313 is 2,191. We'd have a remainder of 200. So 127, remainder 200. or 127, 127 and 203/13. Okay, number 10. Um, I noticed I made a mistake here somewhere. So let's get 3/13. Subtract, that's 4, not 6. Oh, yeah. 4. All right, so 2,100. So actually, it's going to be 0. So 127. There's actually no remainder, which makes sense because I subtracted incorrectly. 7 take away 3. Okay, so it's real simple to make simple mistakes, right? All right, number 10. 35,506 divided by 438. I can't take 438 from 355, so I'm going to actually take it from 3,550. 8 might work because 8 times 400 is 3,200. 3,504. So that should work. We get a remainder of 46 and bring down the other 6. Okay, I can only get one 438 from 466 with a remainder of 28. Okay, 81, remainder 28. Okay, number 11. During a food drive, a local middle school collected 8,982 canned food items. Each of the 28 classrooms that participated in the drive donated about the same number of items. Estimate the number of items each classroom donated. So 8,982 is close to 9,000. 28, we can round to 30. Okay, so 30, 90 divided by 30 is 3. Bring down the 0. Bring down the last zeros, 300. So they donated about 300 items each. All right, number 12. A theater has 1,120 seats in 35 equal rows. How many seats are in each row? I can probably get 3 35s from 112. 3 times 35 is 105. Remainder of 7. Bring down the ones. 70 divided by 35, I know there's 2. So each row has 32 seats. Number 13. There are 1,012 souvenir paperweights that need to be packed in boxes. Each box will hold 12 paperweights. How many boxes will be needed? All right, so we have 1,012 divided by 12. All right, well, 12 times 8 is 96 with a remainder of 5. Bring down the 2 ones. 52 divided by 12 is 4. So we'd have a remainder of 4. So 84, remainder 4. Okay, so since it's 84, remainder 4, how many boxes are needed? We actually need an 85th box. 85 boxes will be needed. All right, 14. What steps do you take to divide multi-digit whole numbers? All right, so what have we been doing? Well, we start from left to right in the dividend. And we divide the divisor into the dividend. To get the first digit. Okay, so we're going to start from left to right in the dividend. We divide the divisor into the dividend to get the first digit. Once we have the first digit, we're going to multiply that by the divisor. And we subtract from the dividend. Then bring down the next place value. Then bring down the next digit. And repeat the process. Okay, so again, we went from left to right in the dividend. We divide by the divisor into the dividend to get the first digit. Once you have the digit that you think is going to work in the quotient, we multiply that digit by the divisor and we subtract from the dividend. If it's less than the divisor, we bring down the next number and we repeat the process. All right, so that's going to be the end of part 1. And if you need continued help, use part 2.